Guess who's back? Back again.
Well, hello there, Broadway Spotted, and everybody else who's watching my video. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Heather Card. I am 18 years old. I was born and raised on Long Island in New York, and I currently live in the best city in the world, New York City, and I am finishing out my first year at the Fashion Institute of Technology as an advertising and marketing communications major. And I'm applying to be Broadway Spotted's summer intern. This is not my first internship application video. I applied for the fall internship. I didn't get it. But, that's fine because I'm here again, trying again. Because when you don't get something that you really want, you just have to keep trying until you get it. And that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I have to say watching my first video was super surreal and eye-opening. But that's why we're making a second video, because I've changed and you guys need to know what's going on with me, what's the same, what's different. And that is why I'm here. So this is round 2, and fingers crossed that this is my time to shine and I get the summer internship, because I love nothing more than to be Broadway Spotted's summer intern. I'm gonna bend the rules a little bit and name my 3 favorite that I've seen since my first video. I know it's kind of like cheating, but I mean, I think it's okay because I say it's okay. So my first/second, let me make that very clear. First/second, they're interchangeable. One is not over the other. They are in the same position. I put them on a pedestal, the 2 of them on one, not on separate ones, because they are both equally flawless, fabulous, the best shows that I've seen in a very long time. And those shows are Kinky Boots and Pippin, and my third would be Newsies. So 1/2, Kinky Boots and Pippin, and Newsies are my 3 current favorite ones. My favorite of all time. Hair, American Idiot, Soliloquy in the Desert. I want to work in theater because it is my ultimate passion. I did the whole performing thing, didn't work out. And I had to step back and be like, hey, this isn't for you, but you'll find something. And I found my love for public relations, marketing, advertising through a former passion, which was being in love with boy bands. And I made street teams, held contests, passed out promo cards, networked with bands all around the world, and that really set me up for my ultimate time, which was my senior year of high school, which was just this past year. And I got to work on the public relations team for both the fall drama and the spring musical at my school. So it was really combining my 2 loves. And I didn't have a lot to do with our fall drama, which was Antigone. I basically, just went and shared my ideas and hung up posters when it came time for the show. But I got to take over as head of the public relations team for Guys and Dolls. And that experience changed me so much. It really disciplined me and taught me, what deadlines were, and that you had to take your work seriously. And if you're going to do something, you're going to do it. I designed a t-shirt. I designed a program. I created a whole marketing scheme with my team. It was just something that I know and will always know that, hey, I was able to do this, and having that satisfaction and knowing that I was able to combine 2 things that have really affected me and make something that's memorable was probably the most fulfilling thing that has ever happened to me, ever. And my ultimate goal is to work in interactive marketing for theater. My grandma was the one who got me into theater. She took me to see The Lion King when I was 3 and has taken me to see so many shows since then. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm the one who's taking her. And that, just to be able to do that, makes me like super emotional when I talk about it. But without my grandma and without her having done what she's done for me, my life would be so different right now. And I don't know if I'd, like theater as much as I do now. But the experiences that I've had with her since I've made that last video in theater, my grandma loves Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, is obsessed with it, and is convinced that there's going to be a revival off Broadway in a few years. She is my rock. I love her, and everything that I do, especially career-wise, is with her in mind. She has taught me so much, and as I said, who knows what I'd be doing if my grandma didn't take me to see The Lion King. I was the voice of Ghost on Broadway, and that basically meant that I went to a preview performance of the show and tweeted about what was going on, before, during intermission, and after the show, and I went backstage and interviewed some of the cast members, including Richard Fleischman, who played Sam, and about 2 weeks later, I got a message asking me to come to opening night and do the same thing, and, I tweeted about which celebrities were on the blue carpet, and was part of the amazing crowd, and went to the party and mingled with so many amazing, talented people that I look up to so much. And I was 17 years old, and I hadn't even graduated high school, and I was doing what I've always wanted to do. And it was at that moment that I knew that, this is the right decision, that this is what my future, would be like, and definitely no complaints from me. And currently I am working on a blog entitled Broadway Here I Come, and it is a Broadway blog, and it's technically my journalism final, but it has a pretty nice following for a blog that has only one official article out. So that's kind of exciting, but I plan on doing like giveaways and stuff like that throughout the course of my blog running. After it's graded, depending, I might keep it up, but its sole purpose is for a grade. I am much better from my first video because I was required to take a course that taught me how to use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft PowerPoint correctly. So in my first video, I knew less than I do now. And I don't know how to use Photoshop, but I was required to take a class that we learned how, it was basically like Photoshop, and I believe it's an Adobe program, but it's not Photoshop. It's called InDesign, I believe, and we pretty much did Photoshop-y things in that class, so I can use that. I have to laugh at my response from my first video about constructive criticism and authority figures, because it was at a time in my life where I hadn't really received constructive criticism or anything in a really long time, or had dealt with an authority figure, and I was just like, oh yeah, they're there to help you, when I really hadn't had somebody give me constructive criticism. Whereas now I go to a school where every assignment that we hand in is critiqued, and there are people being like, this is great, but this is what you can do to make it better. And I can honestly say now that I receive it as much as I do, that I'm so glad that it's a thing that exists, that it truly is your friend, that it's not personal, that, at first you're like, why are these people saying these things? It's not the fact of the matter that they're looking to hurt you. It's the fact of the matter that they're seeing the potential that you have, showing you your weaknesses, and making it possible for you to move on and create something that is so much better from what you originally created and make it the best that it can be. So I can say that constructive criticism, I encourage it, because without it, you kind of can't work in this business. And same goes for authority figures. How do you work in a business like this without, respecting your authority figure and being thankful that you have one? It just wouldn't make sense. The words undercover fangirl are in my Twitter bio. So I like to think what that means is it's a fangirl who doesn't publicly fangirl, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not going to jump up and down and scream and holler over somebody, but I'll have my moment in my head or by myself afterward. I'm not really one to freak out over something or someone from that aspect. There have been very few weeks where I haven't seen a show, and I'm pretty lucky from that aspect, being able, to have a job where I have money set aside where I could spend it on a show once a week, and that I have a student ID where I could, get student rush tickets and get tickets to the school sometimes. I'm very lucky, and I have been seeing so much theater that it is insane, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I just say Aaron to be and call it a day. I think that's what I'm going to do here. Everybody on It Could Be Worse, the web series. Pretty much everybody in Kinky Boots. Everybody in Newsies. Everybody in Pippin. Everybody. I just don't want to pick. If I had to pick Wardrobe Wednesdays and Dreamcast, I don't remember when I started following Broadway Spotted, and I know that's really bad. I know why I started following Broadway Spotted, and it's because I saw Adam Cantor on the street, and somebody said to tweet to Broadway Spotted, and I was like, okay, who is that? And got a lot of dirty looks that day. But now I know what Broadway Spotted is. I'd love to know who Broadway Spotted is, and I know I'm not the only one. I'm going to finish this video up by telling you a little bit about myself that I didn't mention. My bachelor's degree, which is the next degree I'm going for, is definitely going to be for interactive marketing, which is an obvious choice. I have a younger brother. His name is Tommy, and we've seen American Idiot and Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark together, and our next show is Book of Mormon, and I'm super excited about it. My mom isn't as big into theater as my grandma and I are, but I mean, obviously she is interested in it to a certain extent because it doesn't skip a generation. And I have to admit that she used to listen to Chorus Line and Pippin and Jekyll and Hyde, and I used to make fun of it when I was younger. So Mom, I'm sorry. I love all three of those shows now. So it's kind of ironic. Both her and my dad are obsessed with It Could Be Worse, and my dad keeps asking me to ask Wesley Taylor if he could be on the web series. So that's my family. I make pretty wicked cake balls, and you can ask Ellen Marsh about that. If I love you, I will make you cake balls until the cows come home, but if I don't like you, you're not getting any of my cake balls, sorry. I said in my last video that cake balls were my hidden talent, but my hidden talent is funny faces, and I can't just, pull one out right now. You just have to take my word for it. You can check my Instagram or whatever, but I'm so good at funny faces, and you will never find another better funny face maker than me. I think that pretty much covers it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on this one. I really hope that you'll consider me once more for the internship, and as I said, I'll keep trying if you don't pick me this time. But thank you for watching my video and for considering me. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you do pick me, because I'd love to work for you.
I hope I get it.
I hope I get it.